Let's get into it. My name, I'm Johnell. I'm with my guy Matt Price Cash Walking. This is Heat Check powered by Designated Report. And we got a good one. I thought we were going to see a sweep. I thought OKC was going to take care of business, but it's been nip and tuck the whole way. We're 3-2 currently, but how have you liked the finals so far? There was a lot of talk going into it. Two small market teams, nobody's going to watch. The ratings are down a little bit, but in terms of just like the basketball, what have you
Mhm.
thought?
On the court, it's been awesome. I mean, there hasn't really been like any blowouts either way. There's been
Nope.
team pull away a little bit for 9 or 11 or something like that, and what was a close game throughout, or teams will pull away a little bit throughout the game, but then these guys are storming back.
Yeah,
I've liked the effort, I've liked the energy, I've liked the physicality. The physical, like bodies are hitting the floor. We got a couple hard fouls. We got guys, former teammates in each other's faces.
I like
Isaiah
that they're letting them
Hartenstein
play
and
too.
Obi
Yeah,
Toppin. Yeah, and they're letting them play. Like everybody's, you see these guys. They're like huffing and puffing at the ref. The ref's like, "We back. Let's go. Come on. Like this is
yeah,
what you guys asked for all year. And all year was like, oh, how's that a foul? So there you go. Play through it.
yeah.
And I like the way they've officiated these finals. Um, yeah, it's been nip and tuck, like you said, and the adjustments game to game have been interesting to watch. OKC mixing a little zone in here and there
Yep.
to slow down Halliburton and slow down that Pacer offense. I thought that was great by Mark Daigneault. And yeah, man, it's just been really great. Rick Carlisle going deep into the
Yes.
bench. I like
Yes.
deep. Tony Bradley getting minutes last night. Or the other night. So yeah, it's been a great battle. At this point, we know that it's not so much about you know who's better. It's just about who's got the will at this point. Like both teams got here, and
Yep.
it's about who wants it at this point. We know Indiana's great at home, so I'm excited to see what comes and let's see if they can keep this thing alive.
I agree. I agree. It's been a great watch, and I mean, I again the ratings may be down, but if you're a basketball fan, I think you've
Yeah,
enjoyed every single
absolutely.
one of these games. We've seen buzzer beaters, we've seen 40 balls, we've seen
Everything.
everything that you want to see in a finals. So I'm with you. It's been super entertaining through the first five
Yeah,
games, and I mean, ultimately, we're gonna get a new champion very
yeah.
soon in the next two games. So I'm
40
excited
balls
about
from
that.
unexpected places too.
Yeah,
Tell you that much. I was like, I mean, I knew he could give me 25, maybe 30 if he get hot, but I did not see Jalen Williams going for 40 in the finals.
man. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And I mean, there was a stretch where he went absolutely nuts.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, yeah, like 11 of their teams, like 15 points or something like that. It was crazy.
Um, Before we dive deeper into the finals, let's do a little housekeeping. Um, earlier this week, we saw
Yeah.
Desmond Bane get traded to the Magic for KCP, Cole Anthony, four first rounders and a pick swap. Your immediate reaction? I know it was in the group chat. We talked about it a
Yeah.
little bit, but like, what was your immediate reaction to this trade? And I guess who do you think? Obviously, it's got to play out on the court, but who do you think won the trade?
So I don't care for picks that much and when you're a team like the Grizzlies. It's like whatever. My immediate reaction was like I always am gonna think of Nico Harrison now when these trades are made.
Yeah,
So my immediate reaction was like, damn, Desmond Bane got 4 picks. Like, like that's
which
my immediate reaction.
crazy.
And Luca only got like 2 firsts or 1 first or something like that. Crazy, like it was nuts. So like I'm always gonna think about that Luca return. That's where I'm gonna be for the rest of my life. That
Yeah,
shocked me to in a way that I just can't ever come out of it. And so yeah, but as far as who won the trade, absolutely Orlando won this trade because we don't know what those picks are going to be. We don't know how Memphis is going to use them, if they're going to use them, if they're going to take them and put them in a deal for another player that they think may fit
true.
better with John Morant. We don't know. So I'm going to take what I know about Desmond Bane. What I know about Desmond Bane is he averages about 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he showed in John Morant's absence that he could be an even better playmaker. His
Yeah,
assist totals were up to like 7, 8 a game at that point because he was facilitating and handling the ball full time, which is what Orlando needs. They need a
100%.
backcourt play. Guys who can knock down shots. Desmond Bane is a great 3-point shooter. And he knocks down the three at a great rate. And he's a two-way player. Anytime on an already great defensive team. Orlando was
Yes.
a great defensive team this season. So now you got your backcourt with Jalen Suggs as your other guard and Desmond Bane. Like that's difficult to get beyond to past. These dudes are both 6'4", stocky, strong guys, can
Yep.
move, they're athletic. I think it was a great pickup in terms of fit. Everybody's talking about four picks and he's not even a superstar. Like I miss me with that. They have a superstar, or at least one
This is
on
true.
his way. And in
And
Paulo
another one.
Banchero and Franz Wagner
Yep.
is a fantastic player to go alongside of him. So if you just add something to spread the court and open it up a little bit more, Jalen Suggs isn't. He's not like a knockdown 3-point shooter, but he can hit him. And if you get a Desmond Bane out there who's a sharpshooter, and does more. He'll do more for you than KCP did for you last year. That's an upgrade. Then yeah, go ahead and get him. And the picks, because like, what are they going to do with another rookie this year? They're not going to. Like, that's not helping them
That's
get to
true.
where they want to go. This is a win now move. They feel like Desmond Bane is a win now player to go with what they already have. And as I said during the season, like if this team didn't have and when Paolo Banchero started off this season, he was one of the top 5 players in the NBA. And
Yes.
that's not an exaggeration. He was if you look back at his first 10 games, he was averaging like 35 points a game. So, and that was without Franz Wagner before he came into the season. So as soon as Franz was healthy, Paulo was out. So now you got to go into the season. They're going into it thinking, I got these two great young players. They're 23 and 25, I think, respectively. And then you add in Desmond Bane, who's only like 26 himself, and you go to war. I mean, to see what else you can do in free agency. They got money, I'm sure. These guys are on rookie deals and stuff like that still. So yeah, go at it. Go at it. And I think Memphis does get, some good complementary pieces too. KCP, a championship player.
Yep.
He's a guy who knows how to he's won a lot of basketball games and helped win a lot of basketball games. And Cole Anthony we don't know what he could be. He could be like John Morant light off the bench for them. That's basically what it is. So yeah, I think it helps them, and we'll see what they're able to do with the picks and everything.
Yeah. I mean, kind of what you. I mean, not kind of what you were saying with regards to picks. Like, it's different if, if it'd be a different situation if you knew exactly who you were going to be getting out of the draft and how it fits into your lineup. That's just not the way the draft
Yeah.
works ever. So many times, I mean, I agree with you. Trading for the known commodity as opposed to banking on what could be or how players might pan out, it sounds great in theory. It sounds enticing. Like
Yeah.
if you're a Grizzlies fan, you're like, oh my God, we have all these picks and we can flip it for this person or we can draft that person. It sounds great,
Yeah.
but you don't know what you're going to get. And that's the most difficult part about picks. And you've been banging that drum definitely this season. You've been saying it for a little while. So um, I'm with you. Again, it's got to play out on the court, but Desmond Bane, who he is, what he's going to bring to that Orlando Magic team is honestly, I think it's invaluable. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how he fits into it,
Me too.
how that core meshes, and I agree. I really don't know what Memphis is doing. It feels like after those 2 years where they were the one seed
Right.
in the West, they had injuries, they had all this stuff. It just feels like they've
Yeah.
regressed. And it's to a point now where it's like, well, what do we do? What are we doing to try to get back to where we were? And it feels like they really don't have a plan.
You see what I'm saying? Like now that everybody's heating up on the Knicks and everything like that. We was in the conference finals. Like we didn't do all that craziness. This is wild.
Yeah.
That what they're doing. We're not doing all that yet. Like we're still. I hope they are not planning on doing anything like that. But yeah, it's like how fast they've fallen is crazy. I'm interested to see what they do with the last two remaining pieces of that group, and Ja and Jaren Jackson. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s name's been getting thrown around, and Josh he'll be right there, I'd imagine, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. Again, I think Nico Harrison all the time when these in these moments,
True.
and I'm like, yo, could they? What are they gonna do? Like, maybe they'll do it. Who knows?
And I mean, for what it's worth, Ja did come out today, and he said that
Yeah, I
he's
saw
not
that.
going anywhere. So
Yeah,
take that with a grain of salt.
yeah,
He's not in control of his own destiny, but it sounds like he wants to be in Memphis. So
yeah. I
we'll
feel like
see.
he's a part of the fabric of that community now. He
Yeah,
he not even from Memphis, but it feel like he's from there
it
now.
does.
Like
It does.
he fits the character of the city for sure.
Yeah. Um, And then sticking with the theme of trades, Kevin Durant, the trade rumors are really starting to heat up. Shams reported yesterday, I believe, earlier this week, that Kevin Durant has given the Phoenix Suns his preferred locations in Miami, Houston, or San Antonio. I believe Phoenix has come out and said, "Hey, we're open to kind of whoever's going to give us the best
Yeah,
package
best.
for
Yeah,
him." So let's just stick with his preferred destinations: Miami, Houston, San Antonio. He said that those are the teams that he would commit to long term. Of those three, who would be the best pick or the best fit for Kevin Durant?
I feel like it's Miami for the coaching, and I feel like that team is like, yeah, they're always right there, and they haven't been able to get over it because yeah, they had Jimmy Butler and he was great for them, but they haven't had that like LeBron type player, that player
Sure.
that that could take you to that next level, and I think depending on what you give up for him, you could really make something happen with him and Bam Adebayo and Tyler. I don't know. Tyler Hero might be in the trade. We don't know. I don't know. I just know that their asking price is crazy. What Phoenix is asking. I've read
Yeah.
something about they said they want Stephon Castle and like 2 first-round picks from the Spurs or something like that. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like you get 1 first-round pick and a couple players on expiring deals. Like what are you doing? Like I don't know. It just seems like they they're trying to trade. They're trying to do what he wants to do and trade him. But I feel like they're kind of signaling that they want to keep him by by setting the
Yeah.
price so high.
That's valid.
So that's what I mean. Like, are they dealing in good faith? It's hard to say. But yeah, Miami would be a good. That's where I feel like his best destination is, depending on what they have to put with him, because there's
So,
pieces in place.
so my thing with honestly with his preferred destinations, B, kind of just in general. I'm not sure Kevin Durant in 2025 going into the 26 season, I'm not sure he moves the needle that much.
Me neither.
Like I'm not saying that he's
It's so
not.
sad.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's
It's
not
sad.
great. He's a great player. He's still a
No one
great
will say that.
scorer,
Yeah, no one will
but
say that.
he's not to me. He's not. He can't go to a team and be the number one option, in my opinion. He could be a very good number two. Um, Depending on the rest of the team around him. But I don't. If he went to any of those teams, Miami, Houston, San Antonio, again, depending on what they had to give up in order to get him, I just don't see that being the move. That's like, oh yeah, they're a championship contender now, and
Yeah.
it's like. San Antonio's still a few years out. Hopefully, Wemby comes back and he's healthy. Miami, they're going to be in the mix all the time, but Kevin Durant added to that roster to me isn't a championship roster. Houston, I could see that. I don't know how it would fit, but in terms of like that young core where he wouldn't necessarily have to carry
Yeah.
the load, I think that could be an option. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just don't think he moves the needle as much as people are thinking.
Yeah, but no, in Phoenix, they'd be like, we want Amin Thompson, Shingun, and two
Yeah,
firsts.
yeah, they'd be
Like, what are you
wilding.
talking about? I don't know if they're dealing in good faith or not, but we'll see when the deals start to leak. We'll certainly see. I just think that yeah, he's obviously a great player, but it's just like you said, I don't think he's the 1A for anybody. He's going to be 37 at the start of next season, and
Yeah.
I just think that at this point, like that ship has sailed for him to be the guy who leads you to a championship, and that's how Phoenix is trying to sell him as a player that does that for you. And judging by their season a year ago, that's not the case anymore.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
Um,
are what your record says you are, right? That's what Parcells said.
I'm very interested to see how that pans out because I don't know. It feels like at this point you alluded to Phoenix potentially not negotiating in good faith, and like that's not a knock on them. Like, why would you want to give up Kevin Durant unless you're going to get a haul back for him? But
Yeah,
um, yeah, it feels like the relationship is a little bit fractured. So I'm not sure if they can now come back from it. If Kevin doesn't want to be there, or if there's a rift between the team and the coaches, and like I don't know.
yeah. There's
We'll
some
see how
insider
things
stuff.
pan out. Yeah,
That's some insider stuff right there. I'm sure when he goes where he's going, we'll hear all about the goings ons that are
yeah,
happening right now.
yeah. So let's transition into the finals. We touched on it at the beginning of the show. It's been extremely competitive. It's been extremely entertaining. Um, I want to talk about Shea first and foremost. This postseason, we've talked about Tyrese Halliburton a lot through the Knicks series, through this series. He's been incredible on an incredible run this playoffs. Um, but Shea has been equally, if not better, at his position during this playoff run. He's officially scored the most points by a point guard in a single postseason ever. If they were to win the championship within these next couple of games, I would be, I would think he would be the MVP at this point of the finals, which would give him a Finals MVP, would give him a Western Conference MVP, would give him the league MVP. Um, Assuming this happens, assuming they win, assuming he gets MVP, what does this mean for SGA? Does this make him the best MVP that we've seen in the last decade?
It's been a great run for him. I want to start with that, but I don't want to have the recency bias. Uh, Steph Curry, what he did on those runs for the Warriors was crazy. I have great respect for what SGA is doing right now in the last few years in the playoffs and especially this year in the playoffs. But I'm gonna pump the brakes on saying he's the best anything yet until
That's
he at
fair.
least gets the hardware. Steph Curry on those runs, like the things that they survived on the way, like beating Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City, even though they were down 3-2. I mean, it's just an unbelievable stretch of games where he just put together some great performances, and then he finally got his MVP too.
Yep.
So I mean,
Yep.
he's had some great playoffs. And so I can't put anything above him as far as the point guards, but yeah, he's just memorable moments like the
Okay.
without what yeah like I think one of the first ever no was that Steph that yeah he's the first double bang like I mean
Oh
come on
yeah.
that was
Yes.
crazy
So
bang bang he literally like one step over half court it was like Caitlin Clark does this I'm like Doc Steph Curry's been doing this forever he's bang bang like oh that was a crazy game
um, yeah, I mean, at the point guard position, I would definitely still say Steph. Again, I'm making the assumption that the Thunder are going to win. He is going to get
yeah
the
yeah
hardware. But even still, I would say
even still
Steph.
yeah body
Um,
of work is what I'm looking at total but yeah
but then I would also say, I mean, Jokic.
yeah
Say what you want about his game, or he's slow and he's been arguably the most dominant player in the NBA over the last
yeah
5 years. Um,
everything
so
every stat
I get it. I get it. Shea could potentially have the trifecta of MVPs this year, but
yeah
I think to me, it's the way he plays. I know he gets a lot of slack for all the fouls and things like that. It's part of the game. If they're going to call the foul, they're
yeah
going to call the foul. Like I have no
I
issues with
hate how
that.
people hate it. I hate how people
Yeah,
hate it. Yo, if you don't like fouls and getting and shooting foul shots, then stop fouling.
that's
Stop
it.
fouling. They are fouls. Literally every time everybody's huffing and puffing, that's not a foul. And they slow mo it, and you see the guy getting kneed in the stomach or hip checked, or the guy's hands on his back, or he
Yeah,
slaps him on the wrist, or he hits him in the face, and everybody's huffing and puffing. Like Tell them to stop fouling. There's a correct way to play defense. They don't do it often in the NBA because they're too athletic. They all think that they can go get it up there. I can block it. I can steal that. And everybody's, just play better defense. Stop fouling if you don't like fouling. That's what it is. SGA is, you know what he is as a player. So why are your hands in here? Why are you touching him?
Yeah.
Don't even put your hands back here. All chest, slide your feet. Like that. I know it's hard to like sit here and say that, but that's what I do. I play that defense. All right. So I'm trying to tell you how to you learn something from me. I don't foul out either. I don't be fouling out. So that's what you gotta do. Stop. Don't be reaching in there like that.
When's the last
Stop
time
reaching.
you were locking up on defense?
Like it's been a while. It's been like at least a year. Last time I played hoop was like at least last summer.
But you were
I
locking
think
up.
I always lock up. That's what I do. I can't shoot like that. So I gotta make
All right.
myself useful on the court.
Fair
So I play
enough.
that defense. I used to always when we was in the war league, I take everybody's best player. Whoever it is, I'm guarding them. I don't care. Off rip. I'm coming and I want that person. That's me. But I don't know if these guys are like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. I'm like that.
No doubt, man. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. History's gotta write itself with regards to this. Um, I can see him being in the conversation. I just don't think he's there yet. Like you said, he had a great run last year in the postseason. He had an incredible run this year, regular season and postseason. We'll see if he can cap it off, take home the hardware, and then we can start, revisiting history and see how things truly stack up for
Yeah.
SGA. Um, the series currently 3-2 OKC. Game 6 is on June 19th, Thursday, in Indy. Game 7, if necessary, would be on Sunday, June 22nd, in OKC. Game 5, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Jalen Williams went for a 40 ball. He was incredible. It felt like, especially early in the game, he was kind of getting whatever he wanted. He was getting to the rim. Hartenstein, like, just backdoor cut. Whatever he wanted, he was getting. And it was honestly surprising to see that the
Yeah.
Pacers, for whatever reason, just didn't have an answer for him. But also in Game 5, we saw Tyrese Halliburton go 0 for 6 from the field. He had 4 points, all from the line. I guess my first question is, he obviously was not healthy. He's dealing with a hamstring or a calf or something like that. Does this spell the demise for the Pacers if he's not healthy for Game 6 and potentially Game 7? Is my first question. And then secondly, does his performance in Game 5 damper what's been an otherwise incredible postseason run for Tyrese Halliburton?
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because you could tell he clearly was not right, and it happened early in the game. He missed a lot of time early, but he went out there. Rick Carlisle trusted him, trusted his star player, and he put him back out there at the end of the game to close it and see if he could create some magic like he did in Game 1. He's already done that in this series. So to answer your second question first, no, I don't think a bad game hampers our damper, excuse me, what he's done in these playoffs has been incredible. But I do think they have an opportunity to recover because of the way that they play. They share the basketball, they move the basketball, they play at a fast pace. They're giving you a lot of guys, a lot of guys play a lot of minutes, so there's a lot of different looks, a lot of ways that they can hurt you. And I think that with Halliburton kind of going down in the middle of the game, it was tough for them to recover during the game. But now
Sure.
they know what they're dealing with. So it's like he could be out there just as a decoy this time around, or they could play a little different. I don't think that they need him to score. Like it's unique that in that regard. Like I don't think they need him to be a
I
scorer.
agree
He
with
can
that.
sit out
Yeah.
there and hit 2 threes outside or whatever. And he doesn't have to drive or anything. He just has to kind of get going and get them out on the breaks and do those special things that he does.
We know he
So
can distribute. Yeah.
yeah, he can move the ball. Like he could have 6 points and like 15 assists, and it would be like, you would think it was the craziest game ever. So yeah, man, I think that they have an opportunity For sure, if they can, just figure out a game plan to attack these guys, because that
Yeah,
defense of Oklahoma City the other night
swarming.
was swarming. Like everybody, it didn't matter who it was. They like got the memo. So like, okay, everybody want to take it. They weren't gonna let anybody go. But yeah, that pace basketball that they play, they could really get. Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of the defense really quick. Yeah, OKC was incredible. It truly felt, they were trapping. The rotations were incredible, and it just felt like they were in every single passing lane, every single possession. They didn't make anything easy on Indy at all in Game Five.
Nothing.
But yeah, firstly, I agree with you. I mean, he was clearly not right. They showed him walking back to the locker room or walking out of the locker room, and he had a little bit of a limp, probably trying to hide it because he's on camera, but it was all wrapped up. He had ice and heat and everything on it, just trying to make sure, trying to get it as right as possible to be able to go out there and compete. Because if you're not a dead man walking, like you're going to play. You're going to play in the
Yeah.
NBA finals. Like
Yeah.
it's going to take a lot for you
You're
to
right there.
get pulled off the court. Um,
Yeah.
so yes, I agree. I don't think this dampers or Game Five dampers what he's done in the playoffs. Unfortunately, the playoffs in any sport, quite frankly, when you get to this point in the season, it's a war of attrition. I'm sure this is something that's kind of been lingering. He's been dealing with it, and now it's kind of flared up, and here we are.
Yeah.
Um, but you're absolutely right. Halliburton, as great as he has been scoring, particularly in the playoffs, if he's able to distribute, if he's able to get Pascal Siakam involved and McConnell
Yeah.
and all these guys, they're going to be in a very good spot. Just the way that they play, they
Yeah.
push the pace, and they're going to get shots up. So it's not necessarily incumbent on him to score 30.
Yeah.
If he can, like you said, if he can get them 10, 12,
Yeah.
15, and 11 assists, 13 assists, that's going to go a long way towards
Yeah.
extending this series. So
Yeah.
um, I do think I do think he needs to play. I do think he needs to play well, but we don't need a Superman effort from
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton in order for them to win Game 6.
He doesn't need to score. He just needs to appear to be a threat to score. So if you could just beat somebody off the dribble, with your good leg and get past them and draw that second defender, that's what starts the ball movement. Now that thing's whipping, boom, 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 cut,
Yep.
boom, boom, layup. Like that's how they're a really really good team. Everybody eats, and the way they play is hard to defend, especially at this level, when everybody's so good, so quick, so smart, so fast, all so athletic. Everything's open. So they're really difficult, and I think that they still have a shot, even though they're down.
What's been your biggest takeaway about the Pacers through 5 games?
Their defense. Their defense on Shea has been incredible. Even though, like, I mean, I know he's giving you 25, 30 and stuff like that. He is working his ass off to get every single bucket. Like, they're not giving him anything easy. Every shot's a turnaround, fade away. Like, he's got to score them tough. They've
Yep.
made it really, really hard for him. And yeah, Siakam, man, that's the piece right there.
Yes.
If he goes, then they're gonna go. It doesn't really matter how much. Like I said, Halliburton, it does matter, but he just has to kind of be out there in a threat. But they go as Pascal goes. When he's hitting those little elbow middies, then he's hitting those little turnaround faders. When he's spinning off guys and laying it up, getting on the boards. Like when he's really feeling it, getting out in transition, getting those easy. You see them long strides out there, and he's really moving. That's what he like. They need a 30 ball from him. That's really what they need. They need a good game from Pascal Siakam, a really good game, and that's how they can push this thing to 7. And you see what happens from there. Coin flip after that.
Yep.
I didn't think that they could. I didn't think that they could get it to 7, but yeah. After that, it'll be a coin flip. I think it's the pressure is on Oklahoma City more to close than it
Absolutely.
is on Indiana to come back and win. So you go
Absolutely.
out there and you play free, and you see what happens.
We talked about it in the last show. I was asking who was under more pressure. specifically SGA or Tyrese, but OKC has all the pressure.
Yeah,
Nobody thought Indy was going to be here at the end of the
nobody.
season. So the fact that OKC had the season that they did, they have the MVP, they played well throughout the playoffs. The expectation is that they're going to take care of business and
Yeah,
become NBA champions. But now this is the most difficult time. You got to close out.
yeah.
You got to beat a great team in Indy
The hardest,
one of these next two games.
the
And
hardest thing to do.
they're going to be throwing everything that they've got at OKC to extend this series to a game seven.
Exactly. You know what you're gonna get when you go back to Indiana. You're gonna get a hell of a lot better performance and production from the Obi Toppins, from the Andrew Nemharts, from the Aaron
Yep.
Naismiths,
Yep.
from the T.J. McConnells, from all those guys, the Ben Shepherds. That's a whole nother lineup of guys that I'm mentioning. Like these dudes, when they're home, they play completely different. And just like Casey Wallace and Isaiah Joe and Alex Caruso and all these guys play better in OKC, these role players play much better in Indiana. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what you got to look out for. And then you just got to hope for a Pascal Siakam masterclass. That's because you're going to need it because, and I think he'll know that knowing that Tyrese isn't 100%. But, yeah, they're still in it. They're
Yeah.
still in it. And
Yeah.
it breaks my heart because the Knicks could be here. The Knicks could be here. It's I couldn't let it go. I still can't let it go.
um, and then real quick, OKC, what's your biggest takeaway for them or about them through 5 games of the NBA Finals?
That Jalen Williams, he's much better than I thought he would ever be when they got him. Even when he had a couple great games or some really great games throughout the season, I never saw him being the type of player he's been in these playoffs. He's really been a pretty key part with SGA in that 1-2 punch. They talk about him and SGA and Chet a lot, but
Yep,
Jalen Williams, he's the straw that stirs the drink for them in a lot of ways on both ends of the floor. So I've been really impressed with him throughout the playoffs, scoring, shooting the ball, distributing. He's had a few really high assist games throughout the playoffs. So yeah, man, I'm really excited to see what he's got in store. They're gonna need him to get this last one. They're gonna need more of what
for
he
sure.
gave the other night. You can't, don't go on the road and then get shy and forget that you're him. Like stay like that, keep that killer instinct, and go out there and get him. That's what he's got to do.
I think my biggest thing about OKC, you mentioned Chet, and we haven't talked about him at all today. And honestly, we really haven't talked about Chet much at all this season. If we're keeping it a buck, I think my biggest takeaway is that this OKC team, as long as they stay together and they stay healthy, they're going to be a terror for the Western
Yeah,
Conference because Chet, as good as he is and as good as he has been, I feel like he hasn't even scratched the surface of how good he can and will be.
yeah.
Um, Again,
Not even
assuming
close.
health
He's
and
not even
all that,
strong yet.
he's
He's
not.
not even strong. He's been hitting the floor a lot
Yeah,
in this series because it's so physical. So
yeah,
they're blasting him all over the place, but he's taking it. Like he went up for a dunk the other night, and who was it that hit him in the air? I think it might. I don't know if it was Obi or Hart or not Obi. I think it might have been Siakam that hit him on the drive. He was trying to dunk it
yep,
and just swatted him. It's just like, oh man, got a piece of his head and everything, but he just hit the floor. It was just that's what it is for him right now. He's
yeah,
having a tough time,
yeah.
but he's playing hard. He's
He is
playing
playing
hard.
hard. It's his first. This is he's been hurt. He's
Yeah,
trying to get back into shape, or not into shape, but dealing with the physicality, like you mentioned, of the playoffs, and he still hasn't filled out the way we anticipate he does at
and
some
he's rolled
point.
his ankle like 4 times in this series too.
He
Like I don't know how he's even still playing.
he's going to be, again, assuming health. I think this team is going to be scary good for the next
Yeah,
like 4 or 5 years, where perennially they're going to be in the conversation to win a championship, to be in the finals. I think that's the scary part for me. That
yeah,
it feels like they're just scratching the surface of how good they can be.
yeah. And they're in a pretty unique position where they have all these young players that they drafted, so you can keep signing them and paying them and going into the bird rights or whatever. But if another team calls and wants to trade, or you see there's another player out there that helps you make this thing turn into a dynasty type feel, and you want to flip a Jalen Williams and a couple first round picks or somebody, and they have so many first round picks
It's crazy.
from so many places,
So crazy.
unprotected, protected. Like they have like 17 of them in like the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So like, watch if you look at the draft board this year, I think they have 4 firsts this year. Like,
Oh,
it's,
that's insane,
they're
man.
about to win the championship potentially, and they have 4 first round picks this year or something like that. So yeah, they're in a really unique position to
Yeah.
be able to draft, and maybe they just start developing the G League team, and it's
Man.
I don't know.
And they just pick
I
people out
just
every season.
every year, just like grab a dude from G League every year, he's gonna be ready.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, they're doing a great job in the front office, and it's a great team, man. Let's see if they can close them out. Hardest game to win is the one that ends the other team's season. I always say that. That is the hardest one. They're not gonna go out without a fight, especially not at home.
So that's the perfect segue before we get out of here. Like I said, you had picked. I had OKC in a sweep. Obviously, that did not happen after game one. You had OKC in 6. Are you sticking with that pick? Does OKC close it out on Thursday?
Yeah, I think they do it. It'll be a close game, about 5 point type game. I think it's going to be really, really close, and I think that they'll be able to take care of business and get it done in Indiana. Sorry to the fans of OKC. Just be waiting on the tarmac. They'll be back
Waiting up.
soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing is a wrap on Thursday, the 19th. That is it.
Uh, I'm gonna say it's gonna go 7. I think just because I
Okay.
want to see a game 7. Um, just, you can't go wrong with the game 7 ever, but just the drama,
Right.
the suspense. Um, and actually, I'm a caveat that as long as we can have the teams healthy, I want a game 7. I don't want to see a situation where like Halliburton's not playing at all, and then OKC just runs
Yeah.
away with game 7. Like if we're
Yeah.
gonna get game 7, I want it to be competitive. I want OKC to win, but at that point, I'm just looking for cinema. I want a great game. So I'm gonna say OKC in 7, but it sounds like the both of us think the Thunder are taking home a championship, which
Oh yeah,
a long time coming, for that franchise and that fan base.
for sure. Should be to Seattle. Sorry again to the people of OKC,
I don't
but
disagree.
Seattle, I'm sorry to you as well. This should be yours. You guys waited a long time for this, and you should be able to celebrate because you made this all possible.
Yeah. With that said, let's get out of here. The Sun are playing right now. I see Caitlin Clark getting chippy, so I gotta see what's going on over there. Um, yeah, I'm John L. This is my guy Matt Price Cash Walking. This is Heat Check powered by Designated Report. Um, have fun in AC. Don't do
Yes,
anything I
yes.
wouldn't do. Make
Nah,
a
man, we're gonna bet some
make a bunch
soccer.
of money.
Yeah, yeah, about bet some soccer, baby. They got what they got. They got a Club World Cup. They got Gold
Yeah.
Cup. We got baseball. We got Finals Game 6. We're about to get active,
Make a bunch of
active.
money. Make a
That's
bunch
the
of
goal.
money this
That is the
weekend.
plan. Yes, that is the
Um,
plan.
and we will be back with y'all at some point next week to recap this finals and how it ended. And like we said, game 7 potentially, if necessary, is on Sunday. So we will do whenever you get back, Monday, Tuesday. We'll jump on.
I'll do
We'll
it from
we'll,
out
we'll
there
re-
if I have to. We could, yeah,
oh,
we'll keep in
you
touch. We'll
let me
do
know.
a quick one from out there.
I don't want to. I
I'll
don't want to
broadcast live
interfere.
from AC.
I don't
I will
want to
do it live from
interfere.
AC.
All right,
No, I'll do it live from AC. We could
we'll
do it.
figure it out. All
Yeah.
right, man. Safe travels. Have fun. Win a bunch of money. We will be back
Yes,
with y'all
sir.
next week.
Yes, sir. Heat check.